Leon Draisaitl reaches the century mark against the Senators as the Germans ball out in Edmonton. All that and much more on today's episode of Locked On Oilers.
You're Locked On Oilers, your daily podcast on the Edmonton Oilers. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello and welcome back to Locked On Oilers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I am your host and former Oilers Game Day producer, Brett Holden. As mentioned on today's episode, a massive win for the Edmonton Oilers, 6-3 over the Ottawa Senators, and it was all Germans all the time. German pride at Rogers Place tonight, including 4 goals from German-born players. We will talk about the game in just a second, but also on today's episode with Leon Draisaitl getting 100 points and being only the second player in the NHL to 100 points, only behind Connor McDavid. We talk about the best duo in the NHL and just talk about how we got to this point. 129 points for Connor McDavid, 100 points for Leon Draisaitl. And after every Edmonton Oilers game, we wrap up today's episode, with the good, the bad, and the ugly from tonight's game against the Ottawa Senators. Thank you so much for making Locked On Oilers your first listen every day. We are free and available wherever you find your podcast. Alrighty, let's get into this one. A 6-3 victory for the Edmonton Oilers, including 2 goals from Connor McDavid and 2 goals from Timmy Stutzle as the Edmonton Oilers beat the Senators 6-3. And I mentioned Timmy Stutzle in this because German fans all the way from Germany, German Edmonton Oilers fans came over for this game. They flew in, I believe, last night, if I'm not mistaken, came to this game, got to see 2 goals from Leon Draisaitl, 2 goals from Timmy Stutzle, 100 points for Leon Draisaitl in this game, all in the name of Oilers Nation. You'll love to see it. But Leon Draisaitl, not the only 100-point player improving on his totals this year. 129 points for Connor McDavid now, as he got a goal and an assist in this game tonight. A massive, massive game for the Edmonton Oilers. But it wasn't just the regular suspects or the usual suspects for the Edmonton Oilers in this one. I'm talking about Derek Ryan getting the scoring started for the Edmonton Oilers. Nick Bjugstad, buzzer beater Bjugstad, with a massive goal at the end of the second period to really put the game out of reach. It was 5-2 at that point for the Edmonton Oilers, and that was really where you sat there and you went, okay, now the Edmonton Oilers can kind of go into not necessarily cruise control, because we've seen that go awry for the Edmonton Oilers, but you can sit there and get a little more comfortable. Matthias Ekholm also getting an assist on that one as well. His 4th point as an Edmonton Oiler, his 3rd assist. So it was a big goal. Klim Kostin also getting an assist on that one. Warren Foegele chipping in with 2 assists in this game as he played on Leon Draisaitl and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins line in the absence of Zach Hyman. As Zach Hyman did not play in this game, Jay Woodcroft said he was a scratch late because he is dinged up, quote unquote. But again, the Edmonton Oilers did this not only with Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, but with the entire team. Stuart Skinner, massive down the stretch for the Edmonton Oilers, an awful giveaway by Evan Bouchard in the 3rd, and Stuart Skinner stood on his head, 2 massive saves to really solidify the game for the Edmonton Oilers. 29 saves on 32 fired towards him, and 9 saves on the short-handed unit for Stuart Skinner. 10 were fired his way. So really, really, really big game for the Edmonton Oilers, especially in response to that stinker they had against the Toronto Maple Leafs. They looked like they were in control in that game, and then they weren't. And they really, really, really let that game go. And it looked like there were points in this game where the Edmonton Oilers may lose this game, maybe not necessarily lose the game, but lose control on the game. The Edmonton Oilers were up 5-3. They took one penalty. Then Connor McDavid took one immediately after killing the first one. You're sitting there going, oh, man, if the Senators score one goal here, it's a one-goal game, and all of a sudden they're back in it. That didn't happen. The Edmonton Oilers shut it down. They got that fifth goal, as mentioned, but they also got that empty netter from Connor McDavid, putting this game out of reach for the Ottawa Senators, and a massive 6-3 win for the Oilers. As mentioned, they go to 37, 23, and 8 on the season, moving ahead of the Seattle Kraken for third in the Pacific, and they look to improve on that record as the Central Division leading Dallas Stars head into Edmonton on Thursday night. A 7 o'clock puck drop at Rogers Place for that one. That one is going to be exciting. But in this game, Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl did their thing once again. A goal and assist for Connor McDavid, bringing his total up to 129 points. And Leon Draisaitl with 2 goals in this one, bringing his total to 100. The only 2 players in the league with 100 points, and both of them play for the Edmonton Oilers. So let's go back throughout the season and show just how good these 2 players are. And it's pretty easy to sit at those points and go, oh yeah, not bad, hey? But there's something special these 2 players are doing once again, as it seems like they do every year. Let's talk about what they're doing special this year in just a second. But first, today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. The midway point of the NBA season is here, and now is the perfect time to download FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, because new customers get a no-sweat first bet up to $1,000. That is bonus bets back if your first bet doesn't win. Just download the FanDuel Sportsbook app. It is safe, secure, and super easy to use. Then you can bet on everything from money line to point scorers and threes drained. Plus, FanDuel even lets you combine your bets for a chance at a bigger payout with the same game parlay. So don't miss the chance to get your no-sweat first bet up to $1,000 in bonus bets when you go to FanDuel.com/lockedon. That is FanDuel.com/lockedon to learn more. Make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. Alrighty, let's get on to Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, the best duo in the NHL. In 68 games so far this year, Connor McDavid has 56 goals, 73 assists, 129 points. 129 points. The most amount of points scored by anybody in the NHL since the 2005 lockout. He's the only active player in the NHL to score 129 points in a single season. And his teammate in 66 games has 44 goals, 56 assists, 100 points. His teammate. And at times, they're not even line mates. Which, if anybody, that's my favorite thing. That is my baseline as to if you watch the Edmonton Oilers or not. Once people start going, yeah, but Draisaitl plays with McDavid, you know you can walk away from that conversation knowing that they don't watch the Edmonton Oilers. Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl play on 2 totally different lines, and Connor McDavid has 129 points, and Leon Draisaitl has 100. That's insane. But let's kind of bring it down even further. In the last 16 games for Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, Connor McDavid has 15 goals, 20 assists, 35 points. Leon Draisaitl has 15 goals, 9 assists, 24 points. Last year in the playoffs, the Edmonton Oilers played 16 games. Connor McDavid in those playoffs led the NHL in points with 33. 10 goals, 23 assists, 33 points. In 16 games this year, in the last 16 games, he has 35 points. 35 points. Last year, he had 10 goals in the playoffs. He has 15 in the last 16 games. That's insane. And it's so difficult to sit here and give some sort of analysis on this player because there's nobody else like him. The only closest player is his teammate in Leon Draisaitl, and they sit there and get points and get points and get points. And tonight, against the Ottawa Senators, even Jay Woodcroft sits there and goes, Leon Draisaitl was the best Edmonton Oiler tonight. 2 goals in this game. He looked like a player on a mission. The fact that not even Connor McDavid, who has 129 points this year, is the Edmonton Oilers' best player, that his teammate is, that's insane. But let's dive even further here. The goals for per 60 minutes in all situations, Connor McDavid sits third on the Edmonton Oilers, and Leon Draisaitl sits fourth on the Edmonton Oilers. You know who's in front of those two players? First on the Edmonton Oilers is Zach Hyman, who plays with Leon Draisaitl and Connor McDavid separately. And second, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, who also plays with Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl separately. Why do I mention that? Well, because they aren't only good individually, they're making the other players around them better. Leon Draisaitl, Connor McDavid, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, and Zach Hyman is the best foursome of any NHL team in the league. Anywhere. I don't care what you bring to me. They will not be better than Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, Zach Hyman, and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. But it goes even further. The expected goals for Connor McDavid sits at a 5.52, which would be first on the Edmonton Oilers. He sits with a 6.03 in actuality, which means he's swinging above what he should be even producing, which is insane. Leon Draisaitl sits third on the Edmonton Oilers. In between those two, Zach Hyman. Zach Hyman is first in the NHL when it comes to goals for on the ice and goals for percentage and expected goals for. Zach Hyman. And do you want to know why? Because he plays with Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. Before coming to Leon Draisaitl and Connor McDavid, he played with Austin Matthews and Mitch Marner. And this isn't some hit piece on Matthews and Marner because they are fantastic hockey players. But that just shows you how special these two players are. And it doesn't stop there. Defensively, Connor McDavid especially is very underrated. Leon Draisaitl is too. I just want to say that. He is fantastic in his own end when he tries. Sometimes he doesn't try. And I hate it when people go, oh, look at this effort from Leon, blah, blah, blah. I hate it sometimes, but it's fair sometimes. But Connor McDavid has been playing more and more and more on the Edmonton Oilers penalty kill. And so far this year, Connor McDavid is the second best penalty killer for the Edmonton Oilers. The goals against per 60 minutes for Connor McDavid shorthanded sits second on the Edmonton Oilers at a 5.44 behind Kyler Yamamoto. And then let's get into the GSVA. The GSVA is like the wins above replacement for hockey stats. So basically, how many wins are you getting for your team in this season? Well, Connor McDavid sits first in the NHL and first on the Edmonton Oilers when it comes to GSVA at a 5.9. Leon Draisaitl sits 14th in the entire NHL and third amongst Edmonton Oilers. The player who sits in second, Zachary Hyman. Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl are both not only individually the two best players in the NHL, but they make all the players around them better. And that is what makes Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl so damn special. Let's wrap up today's episode with the good, the bad, and the ugly from tonight's game against the Ottawa Senators. But first, today's episode is brought to you by Athletic Greens. Our next partner has a product I use literally every day. I started using AG1 because I wanted to better my gut health, optimize my immune system, and I wanted to do so without taking so many pills and supplements. And that is exactly what I get with AG1. So, what is this stuff? With one delicious scoop of AG1, you're absorbing 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens to help you start your day right. This special blend of ingredients supports your gut health, your nervous system, your immune system, energy, recovery, focus, aging, all of the things, all while still tasting great. Plus, it's lifestyle friendly. Whether you eat keto, paleo, vegan, dairy-free, or gluten-free, it is all good for you, and it contains less than 1 gram of sugar, no GMOs, no nasty chemicals or artificial anything. Again, all while still tasting great. And it costs less than $3 a day. You are investing in your health, and it's cheaper than your cold brew habit. Athletic Greens has over 7,000 5-star reviews and is recommended by professional athletes. Right now, it's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition. It's just one scoop in a cup of water every day. That is it. No need for a million different pills and supplements to look out for your health. To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is head to athleticgreens.com/NHL Network. Again, that is athleticgreens.com/NHL Network to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. Alrighty, let's wrap up today's episode with the good, the bad, and the ugly from tonight's game against the Ottawa Senators, starting off with the good, and the good being a full team effort. It took Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, Nick Bjugstad, Derek Ryan, Warren Foegele, Matthias Ekholm, Ryan McLeod, Clem Costin. You go down the list, and it took every single one of those players to win this game. And sometimes you sit there and you go, oh man, that's not good. It is good. You want everybody engaged in a game. Leon Draisaitl being the best Oiler tonight in front of all of his German compatriots. And that is what you want to see. Not only did Leon Draisaitl lead the way, but every single Edmonton Oiler followed him. And it was great to see. So the good being a team effort. Hopefully the Edmonton Oilers can continue that throughout the season. The bad being Evan Bouchard's giveaway in the third period, leading to Stuart Skinner's 2 big saves as well. But the giveaway was bad. You could see Connor McDavid also giving him a little bit of the business afterwards. And you can see why, especially after the Toronto game where McLeod had basically the exact same giveaway in that game, or the exact same giveaway as Evan Bouchard. That's basically PTSD for the Edmonton Oilers and Edmonton Oilers fans. Stuart Skinner coming up with a big save, but you see kind of the whole crap storm that came around the Edmonton Oilers after that giveaway, after what happened with Ryan McLeod and with Vinny Desharnais. You really want to avoid that, but also you want to avoid really bad turnovers in the slot, which is exactly what that was. So a bad giveaway by Evan Bouchard was luckily bailed out by Stuart Skinner, but the bad being Evan Bouchard's giveaway. The ugly being Nick Bjugstad's buzzer beater at the end of the second period, as that thing was just healthy. A great feed to find Nick Bjugstad streaking in from none other than Matthias Ekholm. Clem Costin getting the secondary assist. This is just like fan favorite. This is just all around a fun goal. A beautiful goal with 0.7 seconds left in the second period. Puts the Edmonton Oilers up 5-2. Matthias Ekholm getting his 4th point as an Edmonton Oilers, 3rd assist. Clem Costin coming into the lineup for an injured Zach Hyman, and the Edmonton Oilers go on to win. Not necessarily because of that goal, but it certainly gave the Edmonton Oilers that extra push going into that third period, especially considering the Senators scored that third goal. You're sitting there going at 5-3. Oh man, if the Senators score one more, they're back within a goal. That is out of the question with Bjugstad's goal. His second as an Oiler, his first at Rogers Place, as the Edmonton Oilers Twitter admin certainly pointed out. But it was great to see an absolutely filthy goal. By the way, Nick Bjugstad has more goals this season than Jonathan Huberdeau. I'll leave you on that. The good, the bad, and the ugly from tonight's game. The good being a team effort. That includes goals from Leon Draisaitl, Connor McDavid, Nick Bjugstad, Derek Ryan, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, 2 assists from Warren Foegele, an assist from Matthias Ekholm, an assist from Clem Costin, and 29 saves from Stuart Skinner. It was an entire team effort for the win against the Ottawa Senators. The bad being Evan Bouchard's giveaway in the third, leading to Stuart Skinner's massive saves to win the game for the Oilers, but a little bit of PTSD from that game against the Toronto Maple Leafs. And the ugly being buzzer beater Bjugstad. What a goal for Bjugstad for his second as an Oiler. And the Edmonton Oilers continue to roll. The Dallas Stars coming to town on Thursday. A 7 o'clock puck drop in that one. That one is going to be fun. Until then, we shall see you tomorrow. Enjoy this game, and if you're German, das ist good, baby. Very big win, and hopefully all the way through you can all play La Bamba, baby.